Hey guys, my name is Russ Warner, CEO of Ghostboards, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about our story, how we got started. So first off, we're based here in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Pleasant Grove is a small little suburb between Salt Lake and Provo, and the way the company started, really kind of started back when I was a kid. I would ride this board around. This was my board when I was about 10 years old, 11 years old. This board actually is physically about 40 years old. And I had a love for skateboards. And I'm glad my dad kept that around for me to get me back into what I really loved. So the company started, we're going to say about 12 years ago, as my partner Brent Johnson made a board for his 11-year-old son at the time and made it out of plexiglass. And he rode the board over to my house, and his son is friends with my son. And I saw that. It pulled up in my driveway, sitting there on my grass. I go, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And I thought, I could do that. I didn't really want to go jogging, didn't want to go ride a bike. I really wanted to go have fun, and skating was something I enjoyed as a kid. And I go, man, I wish I had one of those. So I asked my neighbor Brent, I go, hey, can I have one of these boards? And he told me no for 4 years. And I asked him almost every month. I said, Brent, will you make me one of those boards? And no, I'm not going to make you one. And we'd joke about it. I go, come on. So he finally gave me one. He cut one out and says, here you go. And I fell in love with it. And I thought, this would be so cool to share with everybody. I thought it was super cool. I figured out, let's put up some light up wheels on it. I get to pick whatever trucks I want on it, and we could do any design we want on these boards. And I asked Brent, my partner, a neighbor at the time, hey, can I sell these? And he told me no for about another 2 years. And I was just getting frustrated, like, oh, come on, Brent, let me have one of these boards, let me sell them. And I said, how about I just sell a few, enough that we both can go buy like a new car. My goal, I said, let's make $400 a month, selling a board, and you can get a new car, I can get a new car, and I get a board to ride around and take my dog for a run and just have fun. So he agreed to that. And I was like, sweet, this is awesome. I get this opportunity to show these boards off. And so one afternoon on a Saturday, this was 2017, in January, I built a little Shopify website, spent like less than 2 hours on it, paid the $39 to start it, went to GoDaddy, got a domain name. I came up with the name Ghostboards because they're clear, and I thought that'd be a cool name. And so from there, we launched 10 idea designs. So I said, Brent, come up with 10 designs that you think are really cool. And he came up with these 10 designs. And they were the Riptide, the Fishbone, the Maui, the Tortuga, the Epicenter, and I'm probably missing one, something like that. And so the Chevron. And so we launched, I built the website, I took a picture with my phone, threw it on the website, and a few people ordered them. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. But at the time I didn't have any wheels or trucks. So I went to eBay, I bought some wheels and trucks just on eBay, and I threw them on the board, and then bought a box, went down to the UPS store and shipped them out to the first couple of customers. And this went on for, just every month I just sell maybe 10 boards a month. It wasn't anything crazy. I just do it after work, and I was spending a lot of time at night working on trying to build up our Google presence and build an Instagram page and a Facebook page. And then we had a company approach us and says, hey, can we have 100 of those boards, with our logo on it? And I was like, oh my gosh. We just hit the jackpot. I was like, sweet. This is super cool. And I was like, hey, Brent, we need to build 100 boards. And we're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do that? So we had a board party at my house. We threw on a movie, invited all his kids over to my house, the living room, and had my kids there. And and we just built boards, watched like 2 or 3 movies while putting boards together, and it was really fun. We're like, ooh, man, that was crazy. We just did 100 boards, and we started getting more and more companies start asking for them. And that's really kind of where we really started breaking in to the market, as companies like, oh wow, you can do our logo on it. We want ours, and you can do our colors with Wheels and Trucks. And we're like, man, yeah, of course we can. This would be fun. And the way we're making these is Brent worked at a warehouse that had a machine, and we would borrow their machine after work. And so we would just use the machine in the evenings, and sometimes his lunch break, and sometimes before work, just making these. And so I just kept thinking, man, I think we could really make something of this. So I kept pushing the website, kept pushing social media. And then the craziest thing we got up to doing maybe like between 30 to 100 boards a month, and it was pretty crazy busy for us. At night, I'd be up till like midnight. He would build them at his work, drop them off at my house on the front porch, and I would just be in my living room, just watching a movie or listening to a podcast, building boards, until like midnight, and then wrap them all, then ship them out in the morning. and we're starting to, get busier and busier, and starting to wonder, what are we going to do with this business? And this time, it was starting to take a lot of my time, from answering emails to messages to phone calls to keeping the website, updated, and I was kind of trying to do everything by myself, just at night. And then May of 2020 came around, and that's when it changed our life. And for May, all of a sudden there's a girl named Maddie in Ohio that bought the butterfly board from us, and she did a TikTok on it. And I didn't know what TikTok was at the time. And all of a sudden my phone just started, when on the app on our website, it would kind of make a bing when there's a sell. And it was kind of a cool sound. It was like bing, bing, you're like, oh sweet, a sell, When you're only used to doing maybe 1 or 2 a day, it was really cool to hear that, that bing sound. And so I make sure volume was up and, wait for that bing. And then all of a sudden my phone just went crazy. It was bing, 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 bing. It would not stop. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I actually had to turn the volume off because it was binging so much. And my daughter comes home from school. She goes, Dad, did you see what just happened on TikTok? I go, what's TikTok? She goes, it's a social media platform. There's this girl that's showing off your board. And so I downloaded the app, and I looked at it, and my phone all of a sudden had like 600 orders the first day. I was like, oh my gosh. I was looking around my living room thinking, I don't have 600 pairs of wheels. I don't have 600 pairs of trucks. I don't have 600 bearings. I don't have 600 boxes. I don't know what we're going to do, and we don't even know how to cut or make 600 boards, that quick. Then the next day, another almost 400 to 500, went off on my phone. I was like, oh my gosh, we just sold 1,000 boards in 2 days. And Brent calls me, and I'm sitting home, and he's in a panic. He goes, shut the website off now. I go, oh, okay. It's kind of cool, isn't this? I was still living in La La Land. Like, isn't this cool? The binging and the orders, and I wasn't thinking about how to fulfill all of this or what to do. And Brent's like, no, Russ, really, you need to shut off the website. We need to talk. We need to figure out what we're going to do, even how we're going to make this 1,000 boards. And so I did. I shut the website off for like 4 days. I was trying to delete all the product, and people are still ordering. I was still getting another couple hundred orders in, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even get people to stop going to our website and ordering. And so we shut it off, and we talked, and we were like, how are we going to even make this many boards? Where are we even going to get the trucks and wheels? And so I jumped on the phone. I started calling every manufacturing or distributor all over the place, and I found this one distributor of wheels and trucks down in California, and the owner's name is Alan Wong, and great guy. I said, hey Alan, I go, how many wheels and trucks do you have? He goes, well, I've got this many. And I go, I'll take them all. I go, what color? I don't really care. I will take everything you have. And I go, he goes, what are you talking about? I go, I told him, what just happened. And he goes, man, he goes, all right, I'll have everything. And my nephew was looking for a job. And I told my nephew, I go, hey, I'll give you $500 right now. If you jump in your truck, you drive down to California, and you're back in 24 hours, I'll give you another $500. Here's a check for X amount and you fill up your truck as full as you can of wheels and trucks, and I want as high as possible. You feel safe driving that, but I need you back in 24 hours. And he goes, oh, okay. So him and his wife jumped in the truck and they took off to California and came back the next day with thousands of wheels and trucks for me. And I was like, oh, sweet. Now I can fulfill, start building all these boards. And so we went out to all the neighbors and all my kids' friends and all their friends, and we hired 50 kids in the neighborhood to all come over to my house. And I threw up 3 pop-up tents in the driveway. I had 20 people in the garage. I had 10 people around the kitchen table printing labels. I had 10 people on the living room couch. I had 10 people in the piano room building boards. I mean, kids were everywhere. There was boards down the hallway. You couldn't get to the bathroom without tripping over a board or something. I mean, literally, they were everywhere in our house, every corner of the house. You couldn't go anywhere and not find a stack of boards, wheels, or trucks, or just, it was a mess. I mean, it wasn't a house anymore. It was just chaos. So from there, we turned the website, and Alan said something important to me. He goes, Russ, he goes, turn your website back on. He goes, these people want something. They want to buy a board. And if they can't buy it from you, they're going to go buy one from somebody else. And that was kind of just like, what? It was kind of this awakening thing. So I went to Brent and I go, all right, Brent, this is what Alan said. I think we turn it back on. I think we go for it. And he goes, man, I don't want to work 2 jobs. I'm 50 years old. I don't know if I could work 2 full-time jobs. I go, then quit your other job. And that's kind of scary to think, okay, we're going to change our lives. We're going to leave where we currently work, what we do, and take this craziness idea of building longboards. And, it's just kind of this dream, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know. Can we turn this dream into something real like this? And he goes, all right, I'll do it. I'm all in. And my wife jumped in. She goes, okay, we need insurance. We need payroll. We need a warehouse. We need all these things. I'm like, okay, honey, you run with that stuff. You figure it out. You get the business out of the house. You figure what we need to do. And I'm just going to get this website back on, and we're going to see what we can do. And that first month, so from May 31st to June 31st, we had sold almost $1 million in boards. I mean, it was just the most insane thing to ever see, of just people had this crave and craze for our boards, and we just went crazy selling thousands and thousands of boards, and we got so far behind, and we got like 45 days. I was telling people we're 45 days out on building boards, because at the time we didn't have systems down to build that many a day. And so we started figuring out solutions. How many machines do we need? What do we need? And how do we get this done? And we got down to a solution where we could make 250 boards a day without blinking an eye. And our capacity, we set a record at doing like 400 boards a day. And we had 3 shifts of kids from working from 7 a.m. to like midnight. There'd be like a morning shift, an afternoon, evening, just cranking out as many boards as we could, as fast as we could, and just not even have time to sleep or do anything. I'd be up till 2 or 3 a.m. answering 600 emails a day. And it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm working on it. Sorry, I'm working on it. Sorry. I was like when I just kept repeating, and some of my emails I would just cut and paste. It was the same answer. I'm like, this is how far we're out. I'm so sorry. We're working as fast as we can. Get this done. So I was just cut and paste, answering all these emails, and then I was answering 300 to 400 DMs on Instagram a day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, I don't know, what else to do except try to get more people to help me, with this awesome, amazing opportunity. So, as we went through this 2020, or from this hobby that we thought of in 2017 to us blowing up, we didn't get any investors, we didn't get any really outside help of figuring things out. We just figured out ourselves, and we just went for it and just says, let's trial and error of how to do this, make sure that we're cutting them right and doing it and making them, and I was going through wheel factories and talking to box companies and trying to get a deal with UPS and FedEx, and I was trying to find out what bearings I love the best, what wheels I like the best, what trucks. I went through about 20 different types of trucks to narrow it down to one that I really liked riding myself, and went through about 50 sets of different types of bearings, like what do I like, what rides really great, what are people going to love. Because the number one thing is we wanted when we built this product is that we were proud of it, that it was something I would personally ride, and that's exactly the setup how I would want it to be. And I knew if I built something I liked, other people would really like it too. And I thought that was really important, is don't build anything that I was ashamed of. And so I tested every board, I rode every board, and made sure I liked every little component that we put on them. I thought that was important, that we didn't trip over dollars to pick up dimes with this, that we went all out to make a great product. And even from the warranty, I said, anytime we're going to 100% warrant our boards, if anything breaks, I'm just going to replace it. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to say, hey, I want you out there having fun. Because I wanted to be able to put smiles on people's faces, get them outside. My little joke was, get off your phone, the graphics outside are cooler, and just go have fun and go have fun with our boards. And we had the concept of kind of like Build-A-Bear is Build-A-Board. You get to pick your design, you get to pick your shape, you get to pick your wheel colors, you get to pick your truck colors, and you get to customize exactly how you want it to be, rather than going on the web and just finding, oh look, there's a wood board with silver trucks and black wheels. No, if you want fluorescent orange wheels and you want pink or purple trucks, I was going to make sure that you could get that. And I thought that was important, that people could feel like is kind of like part of their wardrobe or part of them, and customize every part of it that fit their needs. So yeah, we've got boards now that are great for the 3-year-old to the 50-year-old and everybody in between. And what I think I've enjoyed the most is all the people I've met throughout the world. We've got people riding our boards in Saudi Arabia, Russia, Germany, Australia, India, Brazil, and I've got to talk and meet with so many awesome people around the world, and I think that's probably been the greatest thing that I've got from that. And then all the kids that have got to work here through high school and college, and have a safe place for them to be, a fun place that they get to be themselves, and just enjoy what they do every day. So what I've got from this is it's been a huge opportunity to provide employment and a great place for people to remember. I remember when I worked at Ghost Boards, that it was fun, it was exciting, and I worked hard. And then all the people we meet throughout the world that ride our boards, that the excitement and fun that we got to bring them. So we're looking forward to our next adventure. As we continue to grow, we're reinventing ourselves and bringing in new products and new ideas and a lot of cool things to stay tuned to that we're excited about, that we hope to launch into the world and continue the growth of Ghost Boards globally and just keep living this fun environment that we've created and world.